Okay, so for the homework, the purpose of this class is to get you to be able to communicate and reason logically. In this class, getting the right answer is not the essential thing. This class is trying to teach you to think logically, to communicate with proofs, so you have to justify every single answer you turn in. An answer with no justification is a 0.
Yep, logic. Although he seems really strict from this, hi Aaron! And in reality, he really is. He's easily one of the most liked professors at the university, with really good ratings on Rate My Professors. Also, there's this really good Reddit comment about him.
So the only way you can get a 0 is no justification or you don't do the problem.
And I suppose that proves my point. He just really wants the students to learn. And, he tells me I try a lot, but clearly he's already made it. And he happens to be one of the professors for discrete math, which is logic. And Zoa, this is your Logic 101 video. I know I promised this so long ago and it's so overdue. Sorry, but here it is. Better late than never, right? Really, logic is simple. You just have to forget everything, make no unwritten assumptions, and start off with your definitions and logic rules. So, Professor Connamacher, take it on.
Okay, here's our first definition. A proposition is a declarative statement that is always true or always false.
After coming up with some examples, we started to analyze them with fun results.
2 plus 2 equals 4. Is it declarative? Yeah. Is it always true? I should throw another one up here. X plus 2 equals 4. Okay, Cleveland is a fun place. Is it declarative? Is it true or is it false? Is it always true or always false? India, you're a Clevelander. Is it always true or is it always false? A mix of both. Okay, we'll wait on this one. Schrodinger's cat is in the box. It's declarative. Is it true or is it false? So what's the deal? You gave this one. It's true? Okay, let's change it. Is that a declarative statement? Yes. Is it always true or always false? Wait a second. When you open the box and you look at Schrodinger's cat, is it alive or is it dead? That's when you find out. So let's go back to God exists. This is a declarative statement, right? Which is it? It's not neither. Right? We don't know. Well, some of you may know. But you may not be able to convince other people. But it doesn't matter because it's either true or it's false. Just because you may not know the answer. Just because you may not know the answer doesn't mean it's not a proposition. It just means we don't happen to know whether it's true or false, but we do know that it is going to be true or it is going to be false. It's not a case where it's neither. Let's do this one. X plus 2 equals 4.
And then we had some fun with English.
This is where English is a problem when it comes to math. Because it depends. This is what did Clinton say? It depends on what the definition of it is. So really, it depends on what the definition of it is. Because in English, we have to decide what do we mean by it. If we specifically mean August 25th, 2015, because I'm saying it, and you know that by it I mean today, then this is a proposition. Because August 25th, 2015 is always Tuesday. But if by it we mean a variable and I'm going to be able to use the statement on multiple days, well then we have this situation where it depends on the value of it. And this is where you have to know by English what the person is saying. And we're going to unfortunately use English for the first parts of the book because that's what your book does for their propositions. They use English examples. But we're going to switch to the math really quick because we run into problems here. And now when we start doing logic on this, when one person thinks it's one way and some person thinks it means something else, then the logic gets all messed up and nobody can communicate.
Okay, this is getting long, so I'll end it soon. But here's the thing to blow you away.
You can put any propositions in there. It's still a proposition. It's still a declarative. It's going to have a definite true or false value to it. Okay, if P is true and Q is true, can I say P implies Q? Oh, this is fun. I see shaking heads and nodding heads. I always like that. Okay, if P is true and Q is false, can I say P implies Q? No. If I say P is false and Q is true, can I say P implies Q? Oh man, shaking heads and nodding heads. Okay, P is false and Q is false. They're both false. Can I say P implies Q? Haha, this is great. We only agree on one. Okay. Let me say one thing here. Everybody here thinks they're a logical person. Humans are not logical. Arrow messes us up all the time. We always get arrow wrong. So one of the things you have to watch in this class is don't just sort of see arrow and assume you know what's going on. Pause every time you see an arrow and think through carefully what the logic is. We are not logical as humans. Often when we say something like this in English, we don't actually mean an implication. We usually mean something else. It messes people up English-wise all the time. Okay, so here's what the rule is.
So thank you guys for watching the entire thing. I want to share with you the best story, and don't worry, you'll get to see the actual P implies Q logic rule. Okay, story time.
I spent 5 years in Canada, and when you go to Canadian Blood Services to donate money, they always have these little check boxes. I wish they do the same thing when you go to the US, but this question was only on the Canadian one, it's not on the US one. It says, if you are female, are you pregnant? And they have a yes or no box. I was going through checking that box and I paused on that question. I said, as a logical person, what should I answer? And I have a friend, Richard Kruger, who would always check yes. Because he also was a logical person. And he always got called into the back room. Because this thing came up saying pregnant. And he'd say, but it's true! Because if I were to mark false here, this is the only one that's false. I'd be saying, if I were to mark false, that I'm not pregnant and I am female. So I said, you know what? Unlike Richard, I actually said, you know what? They mean and here. They don't mean if. So I went ahead and checked false, but then when I got in there and I said, you know, your question's wrong. It's not worded right. And they said, do you know a Richard Kruger? I said, yeah. And they're like, oh. So now that you're starting to learn logic, be careful how you use it. You're going to start driving people crazy.
And last but not least,
we have to do 3n plus 2 is even, which is why I changed it there, but I forgot to change it here. I'm still waiting for someone to take all of Media Vision and compile it into a YouTube video of my dumbest mistakes yet. I haven't seen it show up yet, but I know it will one day.
Insert evil laughter here. Okay, bye guys.